We're talking about the Little Mermaid being black.
I think that is the dumbest and worst idea ever created. Of all the heifers that could have like race baited and flipped, they chose the Little Mermaid, whose whole premise is dependency on the white man. Whose whole premise is pursuit of romance.
From the white man.
From the white man. Right. Being part of a social group that is not your own. I want to be where the people are. Self-hatred. That's what that movie's about. And they said, let's do it. Let's do it in black. Woo. They didn't ask me what I thought.
Oh, my lovely brother, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the conversation I had because me and insert character here, right? We're having a conversation about the movie, and she loves Disney movies, but she loves Little Mermaid the most.
Let me just put a pause on this real quick. Anybody who's in my demographic who doesn't have kids, who's excited about going to go see this movie, and that is anybody over the age of 25 and below the age of 35, I'm looking at you sus. Like, yo, I am.
What do you mean?
You are 20, we'll say 20.
Mom gets excited for How to Train Your Dragon.
No.
And she's pushing 60.
I'm looking at you. She has kids. I'm looking at you sus. Mom is weird.
Exactly. But, you know, she's a good lady.
In the sense of you're getting super duper excited to go see this movie. You ain't got no kids. And you're like, I can't wait for this movie to drop. You telling me you ain't looking at these people?
I'm not looking at them sus. But if they're like kicking kids out of line to, you know, go meet Elsa, then I have a problem. Because you're doing too much. You're too grown for that.
It's Ariel.
You could be excited. Whatever. You can be excited. But I digress. Because she's very enthusiastic about this movie, she was like, I would love to watch a live action remake of one of my favorite childhood films. Mm-hmm. She's riding purely off nostalgia. I told her straight up, it's not going to be good.
It's not going to be good.
It's not going to be good. Just tell you right now. It's one of those movies they made just because they were like, we need more black films, but we not writing them. So let's just do it, but let's do it in black. She accepted the fact that it wasn't going to be good. She wasn't, you know, angry about the fact that because it was black, I should watch it or something like that. It was, I like Disney, I want Disney. So I agree with those people. If you like Disney, go ahead and waste $12 you'll never get back. Go for it. Or, you know, however much Disney Plus costs. Hey, if you steal it from somebody else, you ain't paid to watch the movie. So there you go. And this is where I come from, right? Because I like to play devil's advocate with stuff, right? People get angry about the people that aren't going to watch it because she's black. Or aren't going to watch it because, you know, they remade something white. You know, I think the people that are angry about it being remade with a different race are valid because
I agree.
Whether or not you agree, white culture is a culture. European culture is a culture. You may not like it, but that's their movie. They own that. If they did an all-white remake of Barbershop, how would you feel? What? Come on, man. If they did an all-white remake of Friday and Friday After Next, you ain't watching that. You getting hostile. This is our movie. Why are you touching it? We made this film. Like, we wrote our own movie, The Boondocks. Like, we have our staples. These are things that we claim as ours. These are things that when we meet other black people, we talk about. We're like, bro, you never watched? What? Man, you're not black. Like, that's how serious it is. We claim it as part of our culture. Mm-hmm. And so to have someone outside the culture come in and devalue what you made for you, mm-hmm. and say, we're remaking it for us, I would understand being upset about that. Because, again, if it was a black movie like Barbershop that they remade with an all-white cast, I'd be livid. Little Mermaid's for white people. It's a white issue.
My issue, I hate the fact that we have no original characters and you guys are just trying to switch it up. And you guys, the writing isn't even that good. And then for the sake of diversity as well, right? This is before your time, but when Brandy came out as the Black Cinderella, I was 6 or 7 when it came out. When I saw Brandy as the Black Cinderella, I didn't get excited about her being Black Cinderella, like Cinderella's black. I was like, oh my gosh, Moesha. I love Brandy because I watched the Moesha show. We had Fresh Prince, we had Martin, we had a ton of representation out there. So even movies back in the day, like I didn't feel like it was a forced diversity. It just worked with the story. So I'll get to you. Okay. I'll get to you. For me, watching Brandy as a young kid as a Black Cinderella, it wasn't that like big of a deal to me because I saw a whole bunch of black representation, right? Versus to like little kids now, it's like Tiana is like one of the very few characters that is like an all black movie in Princess and the Frog. There is no black representation as it was in the early 90s. In the 90s in general, as well as the early 2000s.
Even going back to what you had said about black representation back in the day, there was black representation without imitation. I mean, like, Zack and Cody was a show about two white kids that were twins and, you know,
lived in a hotel.
Here's their adventures. Sister was about two black girls who were twins that had a completely different dynamic, completely different writing. Even that.
We all enjoyed twins.
We all enjoyed twins. But they had black twins, there was a black show, and then white twins was a white show. Like, you know, they had their own different dynamics. Like, you can have representation and be original. Doesn't have to be anything crazy or good. I don't remember what Sister was about for the most part, if there was a plot, but I do remember that was a good show for me much all that. I don't know what Zack and Cody was about, but that was a good show.
Both of them phenomenal shows.
Yeah, phenomenal shows.